Good evening, everybody, to another episode of the Picnic Table Chat Show. Please let me know if there's any problems with the sound this evening. I've just had to not reinstall, I've had to dismantle my computer and re-put it together. I'll explain that in a little bit, but hopefully it's all good. Thank you everyone for coming in. We've got loads of people in the chat right now. Good evening, Dino. Haven't said good evening to you yet. Good evening, Harry, as well. Gary, that's absolutely awesome. I shall have a look at that after the chat show, obviously. But awesome. Thank you very much. So we have got quite a few new names in the chat this evening. So everyone's being very friendly as always. We've got our moderators in to keep an eye on things. Yeah, have fun, everyone. Good evening, Antisocial. Thanks for coming in. Ha. Yeah, good evening, everyone on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. We're currently broadcasting on all three channels, and this will be made into a podcast on Anchor, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts as well. So let's have a fun one. Whilst we're on the subject, I am going to just quickly mention we do still have videos in what's the best way to explain? Hidden videos with gift code things, free money. So basically, if you're going back through all our old videos on the Ants and Rock channel, now this applies really well to all you new viewers. If you go back and watch through all our old videos, keep your eyes on that top right hand corner, and if it says discount code, click on it. If you're the first person to get to that discount code and try it on the website, you'll get free money. Simple as that. It's one use only. As soon as it's used, it is gone. Like no one else can use it. And then we put a new one out. But there is one hidden at the moment. No one's found it for a few weeks. So I thought I'd put a little reminder out that somewhere in one of our videos, in the 600 and something odd videos, we have that link pop up. And all you got to do is click it and you'll get some free money. So there you go. Have fun watching some videos, everyone. Good evening, Eight Legs. Thank you for coming in, buddy. How are you? Haven't seen you for a little while, buddy. Are you going to the show in Milton Keynes in a couple of weeks? I'm going to be there. It's going to be, I'm not trading. I'm just going as a guest. It's going to be a great day out. I'm actually going with Paul, who is here in the chat right now. I believe Paul's still here. He was here a minute ago. So yeah, I'm super excited to go to that show. Like I say, I'm not trading. I'm just going to go as a normal person, have a walk about, maybe buy a couple of things. But I don't know. I'm just going to mainly go about and see people. It's going to be absolutely awesome. Yeah, you got to be there, Simon. If you're not there, like, who's going to, I don't know. I need to, yeah, it'd be nice to see you, Simon. Let's just say that. You should definitely come along. So, whilst we got 14 people in the chat, who's up for a duck race? Now, if you're new to duck races and new to the channel, all you got to do, this is just for fun. We're not going to put a prize in it this time. We're just going to do it for fun. All you got to do is pick a number. Now, we're going to have 15 ducks in the water for this race. All you got to do is pick a number between 1 and 15. If that number's already been picked, then quite simply pick a different number. It doesn't matter. It's just for fun. And yeah, so we're going to do a little duck race now. Everyone get your numbers. The Milton Keynes show is IHS, I believe. Duck race. Right. So here come the ducks. And everyone be nice to these ducks. They've been training really hard for this. Right? It is a lot of hard work. You know, you got to give it to them. Let's have a look. If the signal holds out, that is. It's very happy at the exact second, but we'll be all right. So we got the plain duck. You got to watch out for the plain ducks. The plain ducks like to form little gangs every now and then, so you got to just be careful with the plain ducks. The spotty coloured ducks and whatnot, they form gangs as well. The two gangs are sort of a rivalry. You'll see it in action upon the race. We've got Bumblebee Duck. It's a great time of year for bumblebees. He's probably trying to sneak in, using the wings as extra propellers. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Professor Duck right next to him. He's been planning out his route for ages. He thinks he knows the maths behind it. We'll see if it works when you put it to the test. We got builder ducks, we got other ducks, we got pirate duck. Pirate duck is well known for his skills on the sea, but on a small river like this, he might be at a disadvantage. We'll have to wait and see with that one. Snowman duck, panda duck. Panda duck is lethal. You give him some meat and he'll charge down there. And then I can't quite see what duck that is, but it looks a little bit ominous. Here we go. Let's crack on with this duck race. Good luck, everyone. Let's see. Just for fun. Yeah, it's a lot of ducks, but yeah, it is lagging, I'm afraid. It usually does lag when I bring up the duck races. It's just one of those things, but it is what it is. We'll be all right. It's just a bit of fun. One day I'll get the broadband back installed here. See, I only moved into this house not even that long ago. I haven't installed the broadband or anything yet. So we're running off my Wi-Fi on my phone, actually. So it doesn't do bad, considering. Build a duck there, pushing to the front. Leading the pack, actually. Leading the pack. Oh, Dean, I cannot wait for the Bristol show. Bristol show is going to be amazing. We've got some really cool stuff. Some great entertainers come in. Great traders come in. Great speakers. Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic day. We've even got some, I'm going to say it, some LED lighting on something. And I just thought that was really super cool. Yeah, number one, come on, number one. He might be saving some energy. Might be saving his energy. You know, when I used to do these sorts of races, you did tend to leave it to like the last. You could almost see the finish line, or you could see the finish line when you really started giving it some. I tended to go hell out of leather for the first like half mile, get ahead of everyone, then I'd chill run until the thing. Right, here we go, here we go. Good luck, everyone. Oh wow, well done. Out of absolutely nowhere. I'm just going back to check. It was number 3 won that race, and that was Dino. Well done, Dino. Yeah, that was a good race. Well done, those ducks. They're going to have a little race rest now. They might come back out for another race slightly later on. We'll see. But yeah, so we are just watching the Polyrachus dives on the tank at the minute, on the screen at the moment there. This is the bridge going between the 3 different tanks that they inhabit. Obviously, they use one as their nesting tank and the other 2 tanks just to feed. We're not currently doing a feeding. This is just the normal activity of them sort of wandering about. There's quite a few of them at the minute, and they have been yet again growing and building more, and it's just absolutely insane. So we put a very large test tube of the ant candy in there yesterday, and it is over halfway gone already. And I say very large, I mean this test tube is massive. In fact, it's the one my bullet ants came in, and I only just managed to get the test tube out after, how long have I had the bullet ants? A good year and a half, something like that. I do have leaf cutter ants, Harry. In fact, I'm going to show them on the Sunday stream. They are in dark at the moment, recuperating from the show the weekend just gone. You know, I like to give them a good amount of time to recuperate once they've been out exposed to the light for amount of time, because that fungus is super sensitive. You know, it doesn't like the light, it doesn't like exposure to moisture apart from humidity. Humidity has to be high, but actual moisture itself will kill the fungus. So just transporting them is always a little bit iffy. So I like to give them like a week or so after any event before I start doing anything with them. I have actually got another question back here from Norfolk Animals. He asked it earlier. What species of ants do I have? Now, I'm not going to include on the shop because on the shop we've got quite a few species, but that's easy enough. You can look at the shop. I will answer that in a minute, James. Thank you. You can look at the shop and see what species I've got on the shop. That's easy. But what species I actually keep as a question? That is a good question, Rose Donna. I shall answer that in a minute, and I shall answer you. I'll answer all the questions coming through in a minute when I finish what I'm talking about. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, about what ant species I have. Oh, nearly got me there. You nearly got me. So I have. I've got my trap jaws, my Omacadula. I can't even pronounce it. Yeah, Jason, we've got a shop. We hold events. We've got a shop. We go to schools. We go to events. We do the chat show. Pretty much everything you can think of that involves ants. I'm doing it. No, I haven't got the proper true bullet ant yet. I do want the true bullet ant. Thank you for dropping that in, Dino, Harry. But as soon as I can get one, I will get one. I've got the Asian bullet ants, the Diacama reductum. They're not as painful or as deadly as the proper bullet ants, don't get me wrong, but they do still pack quite a punch. You know, they're not one to mess about with. And they're very primitive in their sort of construction and the way that they behave, which is really cool. So they're a great species to own as well. That's another one I've got. I've got my leaf cutters. We've got the Polyrhacus dives. Right, on these shelves in front of me, Mesa barbarus, Mesa structa, Mesa minor, Mesa A thing that I can't pronounce yet. We got Formica rufa, Formica fusca, Formica sanguini. That is Mimicurruba. That's a Mimicurruba. That's a Manicurrubida. That's a Camponotus ligopedra. That's a Camponotus japonicus. That's Camponotus nicobarensis, Tetramonium bicarbonatium, whatever. Messabarbarus, Monomorium floricolor, Monomorium Chinese, Monomorium pharos, Messastructa. What's that one? That's Manicurrubida. We got another Camponotus colony there. We've got a few. Oh, there's that one. We've got a few more. We've got quite a few different ants. Harry, yeah, that is a beetle in with the ants. We've got loads of different species in with the ants. It is possibly one of amongst the most bioactive ant tanks out there. There is about 30 odd different inverts which live alongside these ants, including 2 other species of ants as well, which I would not recommend to anyone. So anyone listening to this now, especially if you're a new keeper, do not put 2 species of ants together. It will not work unless you know exactly what you're doing. These were very well tested and trialed and researched beforehand. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. But in this case, it has been done. But yes, there's loads and loads of stuff which live in here. The beetles are Mario worms, which turn into Darkland beetles. We've got tons of different isopods. We've got vampire crab spiders. There was stick insects at one point. Just loads of stuff. So yeah, they say most ants will not inhabit the same area as other ants. The main factors here are the fact that the Polyrhacus dives are very large and the ants that are with them are very small and also known for their sort of infiltration tactics and going unnoticed. So with those factors in mind, it can be done, but it's not recommended that you would try it. It can be really bad for any colonies, you know. I'm just catching up on the chat, making sure I haven't missed anything, because I will miss stuff if I don't. Yeah, it can start a war. That's exactly it. No problem, James. Have fun dropping your kids at the cinema. That's one of the duties I try to avoid. That was a good guess, man. It's at the pool, the cinema. See, it's just we don't have anything like that round here anymore. We used to have a bowling complex. I suppose we do have the cinema, but it's rubbish. Well, no, has that shut down? I think that's shut down now. And we used to have the bowl complex, but the roof caved in and they never fixed it. So it's absolutely, absolutely mad. It is super warm outside. Has anyone noticed it is super warm? It is getting hotter and hotter, and it is also getting very humid. And you know what that means? It is nearly time for the nuptial flights. If you don't know what nuptial flights is, it is that magical time of the year where we get the flying ants. The flying ants are basically your males and your females going out to mate. It is an absolutely magical time of year for us ant keepers. So if you're new to the ant keeping hobby, and I know a few of you are in the chat tonight, feel free to drop me a message if you don't know what you're doing. If you want to go out and collect some free ants, basically, I will talk you through it and how to do it, where to find them, what to do, and where to go. There's another beetle coming on the screen. See, they live quite happily. Sometimes the ants will, like now he's like climbing on them, they will give him a little nip, but he's got quite a hard exoskeleton. He really isn't that bothered. Generally, they live quite happily together. It's just, you know, in the wild, they would have a lot more space. That's why I try to give them lots of space. I don't want them to be overcrowded whilst living in a, what's the word, cohabiting environment, because that is just asking for trouble. Like you can see here now, the ants are starting to gang up on this beetle, and that's because he is taking up space on the bridge. Now, if he was to be in the tank, he'd be fine. And don't go that way, Mr. Beetle, because that way is just a dead end for you. See, if you go up, it takes you to the Colosseum, basically, and it's not a great place for him to be. There's no bioactivity up. The two bioactive tanks are down. Now he's got himself. What's he going to do? What's he going to do? If he falls, he's going to drop straight into the tank, so don't worry about it. We occasionally do find the odd one or two ants about. And the other day, what was it? We said for ages, we were watching this beetle climb up the bridge. And we said, don't worry, they never fall off. And then later that day, we found him out twice. He was doing it on purpose, I'm sure. Lasius niger, actually, Harry, are really interesting. Yes, you can go out and see them in the garden, etc., etc. Thank you for dropping that in, Mantis Garden. Yeah, I'll talk about that in 2 seconds, actually, the raffle. Yeah, Lasius niger, although they are easy to come by and cheap as chips, they're actually really cool. They grow really well. They're really hardy. And especially for a beginner, I spent like 9 to 10 years just keeping Lasius niger before I had anything else. And they're just a great species. They can't hurt you, but they are actually really aggressive. In fact, they're noted for being one of the UK's most aggressive ant species. When they encounter other ants, they literally tear them to pieces. They'll use many workers to grab hold of a limb each, and they will pull and pull and pull until their prey item pulls apart, basically. It's very, very brutal in comparison to, say, something like Myrmecoruba, which would sting its prey and then take back its dead body or whatever. These things are brutal. Lasius niger are very cool, and their swarm tactics as well, because of their high number ratio. Yeah, very cool, very hardy, just slightly annoying when you want them to move out of a dirty test tube, because you shine the light on them and they're like, you know what, I don't care about the light. And they refuse to move. But yeah, I absolutely love Lasius niger, but I can absolutely see why you wouldn't want to go for them. In fact, I see why a lot of people would say that, but I think I've gone round the sort of the circle, if you know what I mean, of all the really cool ants to pay. And I have ended up back with, I've got Lasius niger. I've got at least 2 colonies of Lasius niger there in front of me, and that's Lasius emigratus right there. So there's, yeah, and the tank of death. I think that is it, isn't it, Paul? Like, Paul's actually seen this tank in person. I will say the footage that I do does not give it justice. Like, it doesn't show the sheer size or quantity of the ants. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous, insane. But they're still growing, and there's going to be more, so we've got more to go. We're going to see how it goes. Let's have a little chat about the raffle whilst it is on the screen there. I'll bring that up to, no, I'll bring that one up. Boom. Yeah, so the raffle for Bristol, you don't have to come to the Bristol show. We will post out the prizes to you in the 2 weeks following the show. You can buy the raffle tickets online or at the show. You can buy them either just as an email, or you can get the paper tickets sent to you in the post. It's really up to you how you want to go about it. They're really cheap as well, £2.50 a ticket or five for £10. Um, the prizes are, we've got some really, really, especially if you come along to the Bristol show and if you're staying in the local area, we've got prizes like there's gift card towards laser tag, a family trip to the Aerospace Museum. There's ant colonies on there. There's I can't even remember. There's some really cool prizes, basically, well worth £2.50 or even the £10 if you want to push the boat out and grab some tickets. So yes, do please grab some tickets. It's a great way of supporting us and the show, and again, it's a great way of getting something possibly really super cheap. But yeah, do it. I don't know what else to say. It's out there. How long am I on for, James? Honestly, I cannot tell you. I tend to. Right, so I've got like a little script that I always try and write a little script so that I've got a few things to talk about. Not a script as such, but bullet points of things to talk about. And once I run out of things to talk about, I tend to round it up fairly fast, because when I run out of things on the script, I can go off topic anywhere. And I mean literally anywhere. It's probably not going to be a super late one tonight. We'll probably go for another half an hour maybe. Yeah, normally around 10. Thank you, Ant Farm Supplies. In fact, let's talk about that super quickly. When my spill's done, I like that. Let's talk about that super quickly. This coming Sunday, we will be doing a much longer show. In fact, we'll probably be here until 11, half 11, possibly even midnight. We will be doing an interview with Excessor Ant from 9 p.m. or just after. He'll be joining me for an interview, talk all about his products, his vision and goal as a shop, and just about him and what he's doing in the hobby. It's great to have some interviews back on the channel. We haven't done an interview in I don't know how long. You know how busy I am. I know, I'm sorry, but you know how busy I am trying to book interviews and book the shows and do this and do that, and it's just absolutely mad, isn't it? So, but we are getting there. We started booking quite a few more interviews, and it will be a great one. So join me for that one on Sunday here at 9 p.m. Obviously, we start the feeding in the tank at 8:30, but we will start chatting at 9 p.m. I do like that when my spiel's done. It is pretty much like that, isn't it? It's just like, yeah. But like I say, if I keep talking when I have nothing left to say, you don't. I don't know. We don't know where I could end up. Harry, what do I do other than ants and inverts? That's a great question. I do a bit of everything, really. I still enjoy training in the gym, so I do see that, but I don't do it competitively anymore. I just do. Yes, we'll do that Mantis Garden. That's a great idea. I just enjoy training now. Like I say, I don't do it on a competitive level anymore, but I do help out other people, and yeah, I do all sorts of different jobs. I'm a man of many talents and very busy all the time. I like to be busy, but most of my work does revolve around the ants, the inverts, and what I'm doing here. Oh, wow, Jason, good luck with that, buddy. I honestly don't know what to say. Have fun. We might send me a message when you're done, buddy. That's insane. Wow. Yeah, Mantis Garden, we'll get you on, definitely. We'll book you into a diary. I'll give you a message after this. I say I haven't had the time to do it, you know what I mean? But yeah, now we're focusing on that again. Refocusing. Which is nice. Now, saying that, refocusing, my God, I am angry. I say angry, but it's my own fault. It's all my own fault. Um, So I've been writing a script about Steve the Snake because we know I love Steve the Snake and he's absolutely fantastic. And I mean, Paul, you might have even seen it on the screen yesterday. It was like 2-3 pages long of script. Really good stuff as well. It's taken me days to write. And then today I got given a new desk and I thought, I'm going to have to save everything and like dismantle the computer and put it back together, you know. And as I went to save it, I pressed the X button and expecting it to say, "Do you want to save?" It never asked me. It just got rid of it, and I couldn't bring it back. Like it took me to an old version, and it is absolutely rubbish. Paul, great idea. I'm noting these down. Don't worry, I have my notebook in front of me. I'm writing it down. So yeah, I lost all of that script about Steve the Snake, and it's really annoyed me. It's like so much work. But yeah, so I've got to redo that. So that's focused on something else slightly different again. But I can't believe that. It's just like I say, I don't normally save my scripts because like I write them and then I say them, I record them, you know, and then I get rid of it. So I don't normally save them. It's not normally an issue. But I am super happy with my new desk. It is like twice, if not 3 times the size of of 3 times the size of my old desk. I'll get to that in a second. I will get to that in a second. Yeah, it's a massive desk, 3 times the size of my old desk, loads more space, loads more room, and it's just really cool. I also got loads of new shelves lately, loads of new tanks. So yeah, we're having like all sorts of stuff. Right, let me answer some of these. Too many heads, not enough hours. That's exactly it. That is exactly it. I need like an extra like 12 hours in each. What was it I said the other day? 16 hours days. No, 40-hour days. That would be fine then. Then we could like do like 25 hours of work and then sleep the other bits and we'd all be fine. It would be awesome. Have I got a new camera? No, it's the same camera. It's just being a bit better for once, isn't it? I don't know why. Couldn't tell you. It's just being good. Yeah, I do all my things on Word, and I did check back, and I looked for all the previous doodads, and there was 5 previous documents. None of them were the right one. And then I did find a previous version of the right document, but it was all the way back when I started it, when it was like just 2 lines or something. And it's like, oh no! So I have literally lost it. I cannot. I've worked hard to try and find it, and I got really angry. I must have spent a good 45 minutes to an hour trying to work it out. So, no, not happening. Yes, Dean, loads more space, more critters. I've got so many plans to fill these, fill all the spaces up again. You know me, I don't like having an empty shelf ever. Let's see what else has been asked of me. Are bullet ants hard to keep? My diacama, right? Obviously, I don't have the proper bullet ants. My diacama are fairly easy. It's about getting the environment right. They're really bad at climbing glass, so that kind of helps. But it's all about getting that environment right. They like it warm. They like it fairly humid, but not too wet either. Is one of the main things I've noticed with them. They are generally easy to keep species, but not one I would recommend to every keeper unless you sort of have the confidence and basic skills down, like using the test tubes and tweezers and just your general confidence around ants and if you're going to get bit or stung, because you know if you make a mistake you will get hurt. It's not massively painful, but it does hurt. Right, let's answer the next one. Does the fungus smell? No, the fungus doesn't actually smell that I've ever noticed. But to be honest, I normally keep the lid on the fungus chamber, so I've never like stuck my nose in. But no, not that I've noticed that it smells. I know what you mean though, because it should technically. It's a fungus. It should smell kind of either musty or mushroomy or something. But no, I've never noticed it specifically. But again, I'm not putting my nose in there to test it. Um, da, 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 da. And that's all the questions that I had starred so far. If anyone does have any questions, you're more than welcome to chuck them out. I'll keep answering them as and when I see them. A link to something that saves you. Oh, that would be helpful, Mantis Garden. That would be helpful. Thank you. Really want bullet ants. Rose Donna, they are super cool. I say Diacama are brilliant, and I can't pronounce that other one. The actual bullet ants are really, really cool, but they do obviously hurt like heck if you get stung. So you gotta be confident around them. I say you can pretty much keep anything, like my centipede, as long as you are confident in your abilities as a keeper, your abilities to assess their housing situation, their needs, and care for them properly. Because there's no point in getting something that you can't care for. Do messer ants need heating in the UK? Generally, not so, but it depends on what you want to do, or where they come from. Some messers come from Greece, some come from Spain, some of them have come from captivity for a long time. It all depends. If they look like they want to go into diapause, then I wouldn't bother with the heat cable in winter. But if they're active like throughout winter, then yes, it's probably worth chucking in a heat cable or something. Don't overdo it. They're a fairly low heat species, but it's nice to maintain them at that temperature if they're awake for it. Because like I say, some messers you'll find they'll want to go into diapause, some won't. Have my assassin bugs bitten me yet? No, they haven't, Mantis Garden. Again, I don't muck about with things, you know what I mean? I can respect what they can do, and I stay the heck away from it and use my long tweezers. It's simple as that. Harry, my favourite ant species would have to be the proper bullet ant over there in the rainforests. They are absolutely spectacular. But they are very deadly, and not one for keeping in captivity, really, because of their destructive nature. They tend to wipe out a 10-foot or 10-meter radius, I can't remember, but it's huge radius on a daily basis, and they're marauder ants. They keep moving on to the next place, and then they destroy everything there. So they're not really one for keeping in captivity. Do all ants need that cooling down period? No, Paul, not all ants need diapause at all. It's only really the ones from are colder environments. If they come from the more temperate, well, I say temperate, more exotic climates, then yeah, they don't. They tend to stay active all year round. These Polyrhacus dives are like this all year round. In fact, their nuptial flight. A queen walked over the bridge earlier, so we might see another queen shortly. You never know. Thank you very much, BB. I can never pronounce Latin words properly, so I don't even bother trying sometimes. These Polyrhacus dives, they are like this all the time. They don't slow down for winter, and like I say, they've been having a nuptial flight for probably near on a year now. Like queens just constantly on the move and walking about, and getting mated with. But it's been almost non-stop for about a year. It must be about a year. It was before the Bristol show last year, I'm sure. So I just having a drink there. Let's have a little look, making sure that I don't miss anything. Ecton Birch. See, I always want to say Echion, but there's no other C, is there? Ecton Bocelli. I could say the second bit, but what was before Bristol? Before the Bristol show, we had our first sort of nuptial flight within the tank. I'm pretty sure it was before Bristol, because it was around the same. No, it might have been us. No, I'm pretty sure it was before Bristol we had our first nuptial flight within the tank. And it's just sort of been ongoing since. Yeah, Charlie, Ant Farm surprise. That is right. They will grow quicker with a bit of heat, but in temperatures like we're in at the minute, I don't know what everyone else has got temperature wise, but we have. Hang on, wait for it. Now, bear in mind, it's cooler. It is cooling down right now, and it's still 70 degrees here. So we're not far off the temperature that they need to be. Anyways, when we are in summer, you don't need that extra heat. You know what I mean. Obviously, be conservative about it. Use your brain. Turn it off when it gets warm. They only need to go up to a set temperature. August was a busy. Yeah, August was a very busy month for me. It was absolutely madness. It's going to be mad again this year. It's going to be a great one this year. August tour. My birthday is in August, just so like it's out there. Not long after the show. No, I'm only joking. But I'm dreading it. I'm going to be 32 this August. It should be interesting. Whoa. Well, we're not far away. What's it, like 50 something days until the show now? Which isn't that long. I mean, the kids are only at school for another few weeks and then they break up for the summer term. And then it is like non stop until the Bristol show. And it's like, whoa. There you go. That's about right, most on. I think it's about, off the top of my head, about 26 degrees for Mesa Barbarus is about right. You can take them up slightly more, but they won't like benefit from going up to say 30 degrees. Not in my opinion. 26 is sort of perfect for them. 32. Yeah, shush, Dean. Dean, you're not that old. You're well. Okay, I'm not going to start going into ages of people here because we just won't. Excuse me. 149 Lacea species. Yeah, Harry, it's absolutely mad. You should look at Camponotus. Camponotus is, I think it's actually the biggest genus. It's one of the. There's a queen. Told you it would happen. There's a queen with a male actually on her right now. So that's the two sets of wings you can see there in the bottom, just coming up the bridge now. Oh, there we go. I can't remember what I was about to say. Oh yeah, check out Camponotus as a genus. They're really cool. They say they're one of the original genuses of ants, not the original, my bejeebers. But they are a very, very ancient genus of ants, and because of that, they've had lots of time to subdivide into different species and subspecies. So I can't remember exact figures, but there's literally thousands of different Camponotus species in comparison to, like you say, the Lacea, etc., etc. It's really interesting when you start looking into things like that. And if you're into things like that, it'll be worth you getting into the intermediate subscription boxes that we do, because you can have a full good look at all that sort of information in our intermediate subscription boxes. But I won't go much more into it right now because it's just what it is. We could be here all night talking about the evolution of ants and things like that. I don't think it's for everyone to really enjoy, to be honest. It gets a bit boring for me. Oh dear. So let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about Steve. Steve the Snake. I feel like he needs a theme tune. Steve the Snake. Someone make a theme tune, please. I would do it, but that I think is about as good as it's going to get from me. And let's be honest, that was rubbish. Thank you, Rose Donna. Thank you. Yeah, Steve the Snake, he's doing absolutely amazing. Obviously, he hasn't shed since we've got him, but he shed just before. And I do love it. I'm getting much better with him. Much better. In fact, I've been able to start getting him out completely on my own, which I admit, obviously, I've been using Paul here in the chat. He's been helping me get him out, and I'm quite okay with handling him, but getting him out was the actual issue for me up until that point. So yeah, I've done that for myself now. Yes, we want you to sing the theme tune, right? Yes, we want you to do exactly that, Dean, and we're all going to hold you to that now. all of us are going to expect that from you. Yeah, so Steve, like I say, we're getting better together. We're getting better together, and I can't wait till I'm really confident with him, because I know he's not going to really go for me, but it's one of those things, you just don't know. It's always there. He has struck at me already once that first time. It was like, oh, okay, Mr. Snake. Okay, I'll back off, Mr. Snake. Um, but yeah, he's sound. I do love Steve. I really enjoy having Snake. Harry, wow, that was a long time ago. 2 years. 2 years of lots of videos, over 600 videos now. Most of them are short, so I admit, don't get me wrong, I haven't done 600 really good videos. In fact, I don't think I've done many really good videos. I've done a couple of okay videos, but yes, we have lots of videos. We've been doing it a while. In fact, we've been doing a chat show probably a year and a half. Almost every Sunday and Wednesday for that whole time. We've missed a few. I've had a little bit of a break, but we've done hundreds of episodes by now. It's been a long journey, but it's been great fun, hasn't it, everyone? I've really enjoyed it. And some of you have stayed along for the whole time, which is super impressive and super committed and means an awful lot to me, as you know. Yeah, so what else is going on with Steve? Steve, we gave him how long have I been keeping ants? Since I was 18. I got my first ant colony, and I will be 32 this August. So long time before there was most of this new age technology, before there was community about it. Really, there was nothing. There was very little information online. There was very few formicariums you could get, and there was very few suppliers back then. So I've really sort of watched it evolve, and it's been an amazing journey. Like I say, really great to be part of it, and really great to be involved in it now, in the evolution side of it, not just enjoying it as a hobby. So well, we gave Steve. Yeah, someone's gonna do it. I know it's gonna be amazing. Steve, yeah, we gave him his first fuzzy. I am going to be showing the footage in the video when I rewrite that blimmin' script, and you'll be able to see. And he had his first fuzzy. It was absolutely awesome. Something I super enjoyed watching, which sounds grim, but it's not a grim thing. There was no sort of goriness to it. It's really interesting to watch how it's done. And I was able to ask questions to Paul, because Paul's quite knowledgeable with snakes and stuff. And obviously, I'll do my own research afterwards. And seeing it firsthand, I've never seen that up close firsthand before, not in that way. Really cool to watch and know what is being talked about. It's different to just reading about something. Actually reading about it and then being able to see it is like cool. Yeah, the centipede was grim. We gave the centipede a fuzzy, wasn't it? And he basically carved it out from the inside. And it was absolutely brutal, but it was awesome. Again, it's not a pet I would recommend to everyone to keep, a giant Vietnamese centipede, but if you are confident and you like things like that, they are super cool and super interesting. Just don't get bit, because it will really hurt. They've got big old pincers which aren't attached to their mouth or legs or anything. They're evolved legs, and they're just they get you. See you later, Mountainous Garden. Thank you for popping in, buddy. I shall give you a message as soon as I'm off this and I'm on the messages and whatnot. Wife, oh yes, wife demanding your attention. You better get off, otherwise you'll be in trouble. And good evening to the wife as well. See you later, buddy. I'm just going to have another quick sip of my drink. Oh, that's a bit better. I have one for okay, yeah. Dino, you're more than welcome to say that. Dino has a yeah, I won't even repeat it because it's there in the chat. I don't think we've covered things like that just yet. I'll put it up here. I'm not gonna yeah, PM on Discord. If you're not part of Discord, do join. Dean, do you mind, or Mountainous Guy, anyone, can you drop the link of Discord in for anyone that hasn't joined yet and wants to, because again, we have got some new keepers in tonight. Some new keepers, some new chatters, whatever we want to call it. Some new people into the community. They seem to be really awesome though. Obviously, I only seem to I try to only talk to the people that seem like sound people, like that we know we're going to get on with, our community's going to get on with, and these guys seem pretty sound, so let's welcome them in properly. Go look at those snails. I just remembered that. See, I am remembering. I actually had a fairly decent night's sleep last night for the first time in like 8 months or something stupid. So there's my memory sort of coming back, kind of. I don't know. It's a good thing I write everything down, let's be honest. It's not that I've got a bad memory, it's the fact that I'm doing so many different things at a time. If I could clone myself, I would, but they just haven't worked out the process yet, not properly. And then even if I did have a clone, even if it was a clone of myself, I don't think I'd even be able to, what's the word? Delegate. I think I'd still struggle to delegate to him, because it's like, yeah, but it's still not me doing it. I don't know. That's an interesting subject, isn't it? Whether I would delegate to a clone of myself. Probably not. Let's just admit it's probably not. I like to be involved in it all. Thank you for sharing that, Dino. If anyone hasn't guessed, Dino is like moderator, second person to go to. If you can't get a hold of me, message Dino and he'll sort it. Won't you, Dino? Yes, of course he will. Thank you. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. What have I talked about? What haven't I talked about? If you like them. Yeah, that's very fair. That's very fair. But it's because what it is, right? I'll go into that in a second, Rose Donna. And what it is I'm really nice, so it helps to have someone like Dino who occasionally goes, "Stop being so nice," you know. It's a He's like, you like the yang to my yin or something like that. Is that right? We're gonna go with that, Dean. You're the yang to my yin. Oh yes. Oh dear. Oh dear. I can whatever, we don't go in there. What is the Rubida challenge? So Manica Rubida are notorious for being difficult to keep alive. Generally, the queens are semi-claustral, so they need to be able to forage and hunt whilst in founding stage, like before workers arrive. So they usually do really okay. They come out, they lay their eggs, the eggs hatch, the workers arrive. And then something tends to happen. For some reason, the queens tend to die, usually around the second generation of workers. I can't work out why. I've got a queen up there, which I'm trying again, which I've been doing before the challenge. I'm not doing the challenge. I have a Rubida queen. And she's got eggs, but we'll see what happens to her afterwards. I've never been successful with Rubida before. They get to the point where they have workers. I've had that second generation, and then they pulled out a dead queen. And it was like, it's such an upsetting moment, such a letdown. But it is a great challenge. There's dirt cheap Rubida queens on pretty much every site at the moment. You can get them pretty much everywhere. I haven't bothered this year because you can get them pretty much everywhere. There's just no point in me stocking them as well. But yeah, do go out and give it a go. I'm more than happy to give you every ounce of knowledge that I know about Manica Rubida, but I still can't promise you any success with them because it is hard and it is a challenge for that reason. But again, lots of people are doing it, lots of people are involved, and lots of people will be talking about it. So if you just want to get involved in a little community project, give it a go. Some people have survived since last year. I'm not saying it's 100% fail rate, but I've never been successful. So it is what it is. Dean, I know you've had negative experiences, same as I have. I can't remember who else has, but they're just one of those species. They're just really a pain in captivity. They are polygamous as well, so you can get multiple queens in a colony. Maybe that is the key. I've only ever tried with single queens, but maybe the key is to have multiple queens found in together. That would work. Much like Myrmica rubida. Myrmica rubida do much better on in polygamous settings rather than on their own. They quite often fail if you have just a single queen colony. How much are they? The rubida are generally, I think they're like, people are selling them between £5 to £8 and probably postage on top. But I can't speak for other stores, I'm afraid. I just don't. My thing is, I try not to even look at other stores, especially if I'm not involved with them. Like Ant Farm Supplies, we talk routinely. He comes to my events, so we're sort of involved. But if people aren't like that kind of connected to me, I try not to look at other shops anymore. Like not in a vindictive way or in a way that I don't want to care about their products or whatever. I speak to a lot of stores, but I don't want to be one messing up their statistics, going on their website all the time, and two, like, I don't want them to influence what I'm doing, if you know what I mean. I check out anywhere like Ant Lady Rose Donna. Check out the Ant Lady, or yeah, I think check out Ant Lady's store. I think she has them. Yeah, I don't want it to like skew what I'm doing, because I like, how things can like secretly influence you, even if like subconsciously, even if you're not doing it properly. Yeah, Ant Farm Supplies. If you've got them, go to Ant Farm Supplies. But if not, go to Ant Lady. I don't know if Ant Farm Supplies has rubida at the minute. I can't honestly remember who has what all the time. What was I saying? Can't remember what I was saying. Oh well. There's that Queenie again. There you go. Having them available soon. See, I had the opportunity to, but I just thought, let's say, with the sort of market being flooded already, there just wasn't much of a need for me to flood it as well. But by all means, do flood it further. Now, you know what I mean. That's what I was saying about not being influenced, isn't it? Yeah, I think that's kind of key to what I do, is not paying attention to anyone else's shop or what anyone else is doing or saying. Just getting my head down and doing my own thing and enjoying what I do. You know what I mean? I think that's the true joy of this job. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think that makes sense. Oh, I can hear my youngest daughter Evie is shouting in the background, so we'll see what that's about in a minute. I'm going to have a massive bowl of Cocoa Pops at the end of the stream as well. I am hungry. That's it, Ant Farm Surprise. That is it. So I knew what was going to happen, because it happens pretty much every year. In fact, I can almost see what's coming in a few. You know what I mean? I know what's going to happen. I've been doing it a while. You sort of see the same trends of ants coming in and out, etc., etc. So I just got distracted by a snail in front of me. We are heading towards the end of the stream now. We will be here for another few minutes, so please do ask any further questions, any statements, anything like that. Yeah, no problem at all. But they, like I say, they are a great species, but they're just a pain in the backside. Like when you get them to that stage and you think, they should do all right now, and then the queen drops dead for no reason. And it's like, but everything was fine. Like, but why? Why? 9:55. Yeah, it's 9:55 at the minute, Harry. That's it. We'll probably head on about 10 o'clock. Another few minutes yet. I always give a heads up so people can ask any questions that they've been burning to ask and haven't had a chance yet. Or, I don't know. It's always worth just mentioning it, isn't it? Giving that little heads up. Obviously, I'm also going to say a massive thank you to our sponsors. We have Valhalla Martial Arts and Answer Us. They have sponsored me for a long, long time now, and they have continued to support everything we do, including the chat show, the events, and everything that we do. It's been absolutely amazing with them, and honestly, I can't thank them enough for their ongoing support of what I'm trying to do. In Antkeeping World. But of course, a massive thank you to my Patreon supporters as well. If you're interested in Patreon, check it out. We do have something like, it's like £3 a month or something like that. We don't ask for a lot, but it does make all the difference having that little bit of extra support there in the background. Don't feel any pressure though. I do this because I love doing it and I love being part of this community that you're all part of. So don't feel any pressure to give me any money, basically. It's not what it's about and not what I thought. I want to say a massive who has come in tonight, joined in with a chat. It's been absolutely amazing. We've been fairly busy here tonight as well. Loads of comments coming in, loads of people here in the chat. It's been great fun. I hope you've enjoyed it the same way I have enjoyed it. And always, like always, I will be taking suggestions for further interviews or topics to chat about on these live chat shows. So just give me a message anytime with any kind of suggestions. Like I say, I do have a interview this Sunday with Accessorant. James is coming over onto the stream. It's going to be great fun. So do pop on over for that one. We're going to be starting about 9 p.m. We'll probably go on for about an hour, and then you'll get my hour of chat afterwards. So we'll be here till probably around 11 p.m. on that one, maybe even later. It's going to be a great night, and please do join me for that one. Yeah, it has been a good evening. I've enjoyed this stream a lot. I've enjoyed this. Massive thank you to everyone for coming in. And if you haven't yet, please do drop a like. If you feel I deserve it, of course. Drop a like on the thing, and you know how it all works. It helps the channel out massively, and I get moaned at if I don't say it, apparently. Good night, Andy. Coming in, buddy. I shall see you at Bristol. I can't wait for Bristol. I'm actually really excited for Bristol. Like, it's one of those things, like, you know, the backstage sort of stuff, and you're like, oh, this is going to be good. And I'm excited to see how other people are going to react to it. And, like, you know what I mean? It's like when you give your kids a birthday present and you're really eager to give it to them. And then it's like that. It's that same sort of feeling. I can't wait to share what I've done this time. Because every show is slightly different, you know. I'm improving every time. I get slightly better myself, but the show itself is getting bigger. And like, it's the sort of the things that we're booking are getting better. And yeah, I'm super excited for this one. So I know what's happening in the background. Yeah, it should be fun. But yeah, if you can't come along, please do buy a raffle ticket, support us that way, and we'll post out your prizes in the following weeks after the show if you win. Simple as that. You can find them on the merchandise section on the shop online, www.answerrock.com. And also, if you see any page or anything that says raffle, you can click on it and it will take you straight there as well. On our website, obviously, not just like one it would take. That's not how the world works, apparently. But if it did, that'd be great for advertising, wouldn't it? Oh dear. No, well, it's not quite that easy. Oh. But right, I am going to end on that note. It's been brilliant fun. I've really enjoyed it. Again, join us here for Sunday stream. 8:30 we start the live feed, and 9 p.m. we will be here with James from Excessa, and it's going to be absolutely great fun. I cannot wait. But as always for me, I'll see you again soon, Ant fans. Thank you for listening.